Well, I promised to do something for George in the last McCartney video, so we're going back to the concert for Bangladesh, and thankfully, Wikipedia saved my butt once again. I almost started off with the last track on the entire concert, basically, and then it had the first track last, so, you know, you gotta make corrections, I guess. Hi, guys, welcome to Lee Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. Yeah, I know I am. Trying my best. It's been a rough week, shall we say. You know, I'm not gonna lie. So, I've been trying to listen to stuff that might pep me up and make me feel better. So we're gonna be listening to two tracks from, like I said, the concert for Bangladesh by one George Harrison, who's kind of eyeing me up right now if you look real closely in the room by a couple directions. So we're doing Wah, which was my very first George Harrison song oh so many moons ago when it was actually my second ever Beatlesphere song. I did A Day in the Life, and then I did Wah, and it was from obviously All Things Must Pass. So we're gonna be doing this live one, and then Bangladesh, which is the last track of the concert, I'm guessing, or at least it's the last track on the album, like the original one. There's been remasters and reissues with extra tracks and such. But on the original triple album, Bangladesh is the last track. So we're doing Wah, that one. Let's go. George Harrison playlist, Beatles playlist, will be up in the corner if you want to go watch some other stuff. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps, especially as I am in the algorithm and YouTube dungeon right now due to copyright strikes. So help brother out, please. All right, Wah, George Harrison and friends. 3, 2, 1, go. Yep, already. Has to be Ringo, right? I forgot. It could be Ringo or Jim Keltner. It sounds like Ringo, though. Backup singer. Whoa. That's crazy, bro. Oh my god. Excellent. See, I don't know if that's the Bay End, but there's so many people on this lineup, bro. Who knows? That was excellent. one of my most replayed tracks from that album, so I'm glad I finally got to hear the live one. Bengla, Desh.
Sadness in his eye, told me that he wanted help for his country dies. Although I couldn't feel the pain, I knew I had to try. Now I'm asking all of you to help us save some lives.
Is this about the concert and what they're doing?
Bangladesh,
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, where so many people are dying fast, and it sure looks like a man.
Damn.
Never seen such distress.
Well, two
I want
applicants
to lend
today.
your hand and understand it's got to really Bangladesh, Bangladesh, Bangladesh. Such a great disaster. I don't understand, but it sure looks like a man. Never known such distress. Please don't turn away. Wanna hear you say, release the people. Bangladesh.
Wow. What? Damn.
We got to really Bangladesh, Bangladesh, Bangladesh. Now you may see it so far,
That percussion is so on point.
something we can't neglect, something I can't neglect. I want to give some bread at the starving bed. Got to really Bangladesh.
And if you're still watching at this point, I got one for you. Use the word later in your comment. I'll know you're paying attention.
We got to really Bangladesh. Really the people.
There's a little bit of wah-wah right there.
Bangladesh.
Just a bar though. My God. This must be Jim Keltner. Hell yeah. If that is a closer, what a closer. Rest in peace, George. Damn, that's got me down, bro. Why'd I have to say that? You know what? I don't want to leave on a downer, so guess what? I'm going to play a different song. All right, so I've got two other ones. You guys can pick it. What are we going to do? Do you want to do Mr. Tambourine Man? Yep, Mr. Tambourine Man. Okay, we'll do that one. I have another Bob Dylan. It's from the same album, but I got to hear more. That's crazy. All right, so this is George Harrison and Bob Dylan from the concert at Bangladesh. Mr. Tambourine Man, my favorite Bob Dylan song. 3, 2, 1, go. Surprise.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleeping, there's no place I'm going to.
Traveling Bulgarians.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following you. Oh, I know that evening's empire has returned into sand. And he's from my
This is a little surprise for you who actually watch.
Here to stand, but still not sleeping. My weariness amazes me. I'm branded on my feet. I have no one to meet. And the ancient empty streets too dead for dreaming. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song with me. In the jingle jangle morning, I come following you. Take me on a trip upon your magic swirling ship. My senses have been stripped. My hands can't feel the grip. My toes too numb to step. Wait only for my boot heels to be wandering. I'm ready to go anywhere. I'm ready for TV. Into my own parade. Cast your dancing spell my way. I promise to go under it. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song with me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song with me. In the jingle jangle morning, I come following you.
I love this version so much. That's crazy. One of a kind, man.
Disappearing through the smoke rings of my mind, down the foggy ruins of time, far past the frozen leaves,
What a line.
haunted, frightened trees, out to the windy beach, far from the twisted reach of crazy sorrow. Just to dance beneath the diamond sky with one hand waving free, silhouetted by the sea, circled by the circus sands. With all memory fade, living deep beneath the waves. Let me forget about the day until tomorrow. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to.
It's almost like it has a different meaning.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I come following you.
That harmonica is so soulful. Excellent. stop it there. Oh, man. Well, I'll leave it at that. Let's just applause for the next 30 seconds. Oh, man. George is so talented. And I'm glad I threw on that Dylan one at the end. Because I know Dylan was there performing with him, along with an all-star cast, basically. But, you know, I wanted to leave on a happier note, but then Mr. Tambourine Man is so melancholic that I'm honestly a little even more sad than I was with the first ending. But that's okay. We got 3 tracks from the concert for Bangladesh, so I'm happy with that. Man, George is just so damn talented, bro. Like, his voice is so distinct. Like, you would think that McCartney or Lennon would be, like, my favorite voice. And maybe Lennon is. I don't know. It changes. But when I hear George's voice, there's just something so special about it. And, like, it's so unique and charming. It's distinct, like I said. It really stands out. And, I don't know, the stuff that he was going for, I think him and Phil Spector were a match in heaven, to be honest, because Phil produced All Things Must Pass and produced this album, I think. I think there was some light production done to it afterwards, that they said, but not too much. They didn't do too much work on it. They kind of left it as is from the show. And I like it, though. Like, I like the way it sounds. And George, I don't know, the way that he can just write songs like that Bangladesh song. Like, there were so many little disparate elements in that song that probably would clash if it was an inferior songwriter, you know, trying to attempt that. But George is so talented that he makes it all work, and it's very cohesive. Everything runs together very well. And they use different instruments very well for this concert, even for the other stuff I've listened to. You know, it is the concert for Bangladesh, so I guess they are you know, bringing in some world instruments and influence compared to, like, you know, the European and, I guess, you know, American influence. But it's interesting to see those, you know, conflicting sort of things work together so well. And if that's one thing, you know, George was a connector. You know, I know each Beatle had their own personality and, like, I don't know. I'm a nerd, so I say, like, ability set or something like that, or, you know, like, archetype, basically. And George was the spiritual one who, I don't know, he kind of, it seemed like he brought people together. Like, Ringo kept people together. John and Paul brought the people there originally, but George kind of, I don't know, he was the one that just sort of picked up all the pieces and kept everyone together in a way. I don't know if that's exactly what the truth is, but, like, from the little research I've done, you know, I know that the Beatles were volatile at points, and others, they're brothers, you know, so of course they're going to have their little scuffles and such. But George, I don't know, I know he had a very interesting life, and he put it to music, man. And then listening to, like, his original songs and the old Beatles albums, you know, the original ones at least, like when he first was songwriting, it's crazy how much of a jump he took. Because, like, just listening to all the stuff from All Things Must Pass, which is a lot of the stuff that I guess the Beatles didn't want to use that George wrote, you know, because he had a double album ready to go, basically, you know, or a triple album, whatever it is. And it's crazy, man. And while I was like my first George Harrison song and hearing this live version, man, those backup vocals, even better than the studio track. George's vocals never sounded better. The guitar is excellent. The riff is just crisp in that song. I don't know if that's hard to say. I said I might like that better than the studio, but I'd have to hear the studio again to, like, really make that choice. But that was a really good live version of it, I'm not gonna lie. And it's just cool to, you know, finally hear a new song from him too. And I don't know if Bangladesh or Bangladesh, however you pronounced it, I don't know if that's, like, specific to this album. I guess I could click it and find out. But first up, George Harrison on vocals, electric and acoustic guitars, Bob Dylan on vocals and acoustic guitar, Leon Russell on piano, vocals, bass, Ringo Starr on drums, vocals, and tambourine, Billy Preston on Hammond organ, Eric Clapton on electric guitar, Jesse Ed Davis on electric guitar, Klaus on the bass, Jim Keltner on drums, and then the guys from Badfinger, Pete Ham, Tom Evans, Joey Mullen, Mike Gibbons, and then these Jim Horn on sax and the horn arrangements. He also had Chuck Finley there. Man, everybody turned out for him. And the backing vocals in the first track were from the Soul Choir, featuring Claudia Lanier, Joe Green, Don Nix, Marlon Green, and Dolores Hall. So there you go. And Don Preston. Man, I couldn't even really pick out of those. Like, that's crazy. They're all very different songs. Obviously, the last one's a Bob Dylan track, but I'm not gonna lie. I thought there'd be a little more George in that. That's why I played it, but it ended up being a Bob Dylan track. So hopefully, I didn't lose people from that. My apologies. But it was performed at the show, and I'm guessing that's George playing acoustic or something with him. But Bob's voice, it sounds so different. You know, even though I think this is 71. My favorite version's like the Newport Jazz Festival one or whatever, and he sounds so young and I don't know, full of wonder and life and stuff in that early one. And this one, it sounds like a more matured Bob Dylan in a way. You know, if I can have like a Bob Dylan, you know, aside basically in a George Harrison video, it kind of felt like a more matured and wizened, maybe even, or world weary version of Bob Dylan, even though it was only maybe, you know, half a decade later. You know, that's still a long time for a lot of things can happen in that amount of time. But it did have a different feeling to it, and obviously the backing band probably has something to do with that as well. But I thought it was an excellent rendition of my favorite Bob Dylan track. It was a great rendition of my first ever George Harrison track, and then a new one, Bangladesh. What an excellent, different kind of track for him. You know, I love the different little instruments and the horns they used in it. And the guitar throughout obviously is great. His voice is great. That was really 3 solid tracks that were just completely different, and showed 2 different sides of George, and then one of Bob's classics. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff to pick from. You could pick from the organ when it popped up, the piano when it popped up. The guitar throughout was very, very strong. Obviously, the drumming, if it was Ringo, I think Ringo was on the first track, and then I think Jim Keltner was on the second track. I could be wrong. I'm just going off my ear. But the first one kind of sounded like Ringo and Wah Wah, but then the second one, there was some stuff he was throwing in there that didn't sound like Ringo. So I don't know. I could be wrong, though. I usually am, so it's okay. So if you do know, let me know what the lineup for each song is. I don't obviously know, but I thought that was absolutely excellent. Thank you guys for watching. I needed to pick me up, and that was definitely it. Thanks, George. Where is he? Right there. He always does it. Thanks for watching.